I think it was last week or a few days ago, your campaign put out a plan for dealing with pandemics and the coronavirus. What is your sense of the leadership that's emanating from the White House right now? How concerned are you?
I am very concerned right now. Look, I put out a plan because that's what leadership is about. And there's a lot that we could be doing right now. We can all go back and say there's a lot we should have been doing in the past. The first job of a president of the United States is to keep people safe here in the United States. And that means not just our military, it really means public health. That's a big part of it. We should not have been making the cuts to CDC and other places that put us more at risk. But it also means as soon as this virus started cropping up elsewhere in the world, we should have been on top of it. We should have been putting the money into the research. We should be putting money into making sure that we have vaccines available, that we have tests available, and we need a coordinating person in the White House who is a true leader. And let me just say that the Vice President, Pence, he is the wrong person to be leading this. He is actually the one guy around who has experience in dealing with a virus that gets out of control, only he's the guy who went in exactly the wrong direction. He paid more attention to politics than he did to science, and that really created a health crisis in his state of Indiana. I cannot think of a worse person to put in charge of dealing with this coronavirus now.
You've been a law professor, a lawyer much your life. You're now a United States senator. You've never held an executive position. You've never been a governor or a mayor. To people that are thinking, I want someone, I want to know that I could trust the person I'm voting for president to manage a crisis like this. What do you say to them?
Do remember, actually, I've done two more jobs that you left out. I was the one who kept calling the financial crisis in 2008. I started in the early 2000s, ringing the alarm bells over what was happening in the mortgage market, what was happening with debt, how the banks were interconnected. And then when the crisis came, Congress came to me, Harry Reid came to me and said, we want you to head up the Congressional Oversight Panel to try to get some accountability on how that bank bailout was working. From there, I ended up working on the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. My executive experience is I think I'm the only one who's running for office who's actually been on that side of it. I set up an entire agency from 2 employees to about 1,000 employees, got it all operational, made it all work, and really put in place the kinds of safeguards we need to keep people, to keep banks from being able to boost their profits by cheating people. Understand this, Chris, when we talk about the coronavirus, yes, we're talking about health. We're talking about our most vulnerable citizens, about babies and seniors and people with compromised immune systems. And this is a crisis. But it also has the potential to be an enormous financial crisis, not just here in the United States, but worldwide. Think about how our 5 largest banks in America are connected to each other and connected around the world. They need, for all of those businesses that have borrowed money from them, to keep paying back. And that means they need those supply chains operational. They need business moving, they need goods moving, they need services moving, they need payments moving. And all of that is starting to get rocky, and on top of an economy that was already showing signs of trouble. Small businesses that were already in default on the loans, and a Trump administration that had already stripped down many of the economic tools to deal with this. So health crisis, absolutely, it is our number one concern. But we need to be worried about number 2 as well, and that is an economic crisis that accelerates problems around the globe. We've got to be ready for both.
All right, Senator Elizabeth Warren, presidential candidate, senator from Massachusetts. Thanks so much for taking time.
Thank you.